Evening, everybody, and welcome to a different form of Wednesday night motorsport for the RSRA Super 2 E-Series, and night one of two. There's some action-packed racing about to go down, but a different form of racing tonight. A bit of solo action around the famous Mount Panorama circuit, and we don't have a full field tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the top 10 shootout. And what a top 10 it's been so far, or qualifying session has been so far. And the top 10 only sorting themselves out in the final seconds of qualifying that had just unfolded off air. Matt Davis, Dean Reddit, bringing you all the action of the top 10 shootout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Dean, I'll bring you in now, mate. Obviously, you finished up 7th in the championship last night for the Super Series. Now making your way over to the Super 2 Series. And you guys had a different form of racing last night. Didn't have the top 10 shootout that you usually get around Mount Panorama, but nevertheless, an action-packed race for you. Tonight, though, the drivers have got something very, very different to face.
Yeah, it's a new event for the Super 2 drivers this season, getting the top 10 qualifying chance. Yet to get it. It's always gone to the top split drivers, so I'm excited for these guys. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to it. We've got a really good looking top 10 to come out of qualifying, and I think it might be hot out on track, and we'll see how these guys go down. But yeah, last night was a great finish to what's been a really fantastic season, and I'm sure tonight and tomorrow night is going to be the same. It's grand final week for us here at RSRA, so really exciting week to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely an exciting week. Definitely an exciting couple nights of motorsport to look forward to. And we'll bring you the nitty-gritty business of what's actually going to be unfolding tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, and what's going to be happening around Mount Panorama. And we'll get that up on your screen for you right away and start unfolding what's going to be the race distance, the top speed, the throttle, the circuit, the direction, the turns, and everything else. And you'll be able to figure out what the drivers are going to be having to do tonight just to navigate a top 10 shootout lap. They get the mountain to themselves, and it's all going to be the warm-up for the big shot tomorrow night as we bring you the grand finale for Season 2. And JP, if we are ready. All right, we are not ready yet. He's just having a few technical issues at the moment. But Dean, the top 10 shootout, what I'm looking at in front of me, we've got Troy Allen, who posted fastest lap of the race to secure him the last car out for the top 10 shootout. We got your teammate David Nash, Benny Siren, Simon Vale, Mark Turner, Jamie Davis, Brian Good, Bruce Tanik, Jonathan Bain, and Robbie Bradbury, which will be the first car out. Obviously, that's reverse order. I just read out to you there, ladies and gentlemen. An interesting top 10 shootout to be held. You got Jamie Davis, our championship leader. He's going to be fourth car out tonight, or fifth car out tonight, sorry. Not the place that JD wants to be.
Yeah, well, this will be interesting how this plays out. The guys just completed their qualifying session in reasonably good conditions, and now they're about to step out onto a hot track. So, pressure does some funny things to people, Matty, and, you only really need to secure that top 10 and then let it all loose in the actual top 10 shootout to try and get that pole position. So, you're right. There's some guys in there that appear to be very strong at Mount Panorama, which we haven't, they typically might normally qualify outside the top 10. So there are obviously some specialists here. So I'll be keeping an eye out on how they go on this warm track. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think there's going to be a few surprises.
Well, I did make mention that you'd be seeing a few different drivers pop into the top 10 for this shootout. Obviously, the pressure, ladies and gentlemen, that is thrown upon these drivers to perform at their best, just to get the flying lap that they need to make the top 10 shootout, and then they've got to try and back that up again. And that pressure really starts to set in as the laps go on through their qualifying session. The track decides to get hotter as well through that session. But Dean, being Jamie Davis, you're the championship leader, fourth car out on track. Would you want to throw down just a banker lap, get yourself on the grid, and then pick away at the cars throughout the race. We've got an endurance race tomorrow night and a long one at it, 41 laps to be precise. And would that be a strategy, just get a banker lap in, or would you just go full send as Rainer Costello would say, and try and put everything on the line?
Look, I would put everything on the line. Honestly, you can't do any worse than 10th. So there's no point leaving anything out there. He, at least being in car out, he's going to get an opportunity to have a look at a few guys go before him, because you know how the guys react to the new conditions will be crucial as to whether they have a successful lap or not. He just wants to keep an eye out, particularly on the first two cars, see how their cars are reacting, and then maybe make a conscious decision and then just go for it, because the best place for him is at the front of the field and get away from any possible carnage at the start of the run.
Well, our race data is ready, Dean. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining wherever you're from for the Simshed Broadcasting special Wednesday night top 10 shootout, wherever you're watching from around the world in Australia on all our social platforms. And those the race specs should be coming up on your screen for tomorrow night's race. 41 laps though in total distance, as I just mentioned, and what a grueling 41 laps it's going to be. Speeds of up to 290 kilometers an hour as they come down Conrod straight, Dean, and as they fly into the chase. 57% full throttle. Majority of that, Mountain Straight, Conrod Straight, and obviously the lead up into Hull Corner. The circuit in length is 6.213 kilometers in total distance. So 6.2 kilometers solo lap tonight, and then they've got 41 laps of that tomorrow night. Anti-clockwise direction, obviously. 23 turns all up, 14 left and 9 to the right. Those right-hand side tyres are definitely going to be copping a beating, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. The weather, obviously, variable. Safety car probability for tomorrow night's race, high. It's Bathurst. There is always a safety car, and obviously safety cars breed safety cars. And an endurance event, pit stops. Everything's going to come down to pit stop strategy for tomorrow night. It says 0 on our screen there. No, so it says no. My apologies. It doesn't say 0. It's 3 to 4. 3 to 4 pit stops. My apologies. I'm getting the a little bit of a different screen from everybody else at home. I'm reading off my notes here on my phone, and JP's got it up on screen in front of me. And my apologies for that one, ladies and gentlemen. But 3 to 4 pit stops tomorrow night for the 41 lap race, Dean. And it's really going to be testing the drivers on strategy. And then obviously we have the heat of the track to go into the mix of that as well.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it'll be one of those ones where you need to just be conservative at particular moments in the race, and then choose your moments when to push hard, and bring it down to a strategy game at the end. You got to buy a ticket to the end of this race. It's not about going hard all the way.
We just got a brief view there on our screens, our previous screen here, ladies and gentlemen. And there we are, the views of Mount Panorama Bathurst. And Dean, before we do get underway for the top 10 shootout, I just want to pay the almighty respects to the king of the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. And that man is Peter Brock, the number 05. We reserve that number in the RSRA Super Series and Super 2 E-Series. That is Brocky's number and Brocky's number alone. So you will not see a car out on track with the number 05. And it's currently 15 years since the life of Peter Brock was tragically taken. But he was doing what he was loved, and he was racing the Targa Tasmania, and he probably wouldn't have wanted to go out any better way. So rest in peace to that man right there. But the all eyes at the moment now turn to the track. The Century Motorsports team, Robbie Bradbury in the number 35 Ford Mustang GT, leads us away on the first outlap for tonight's shootout, top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen. The nerves are high for these drivers tonight, and we'll find out Robbie Bradbury's thoughts after his flying lap. But obviously, Dean, first car out on track, it's always going to be the most nerve-wracking one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you want to just take your time here on the outlap. You know, you have control of when you start your lap, so you don't want to be rushed. You just want to be feeling the track a little bit. Any adjustments you need to make to your brake markers with the hot track. So it's just collecting yourself in these moments here on top of the mountain, because as soon as you get to the bottom of Conrod, you're going to start your lap.
Watch for Robbie here, ladies and gentlemen. Get the feel of the track and find out how slick Mount Panorama is. First car out on track, first car laying down the rubber, and he starts to wind her up now, coming down Conrod Straight, getting some heat in the tyres, and he's going to be transferring the heat from those brake rotors that he's about to smash onto at the bottom of the chase, and transfer that heat into the front tyres to get it turned in at Murray's Corner and start his flying lap. For the first car out in the top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen, Robbie Bradbury, the number 35 from Century Motorsport. And he's coming down into Murray's Corner for the first time to open up the lap. Watch him take it a little bit wider than what he usually would in race trim. Gets the run out of Murray's Corner. The lap starts now. Robbie Bradbury, you have 2 minutes through the mountain all by yourself. Into Hull Corner he comes. Wants to get this picture perfect to get the run up Mountain Straight. Spot on. Luck away at the gears, ladies and gentlemen. Into fourth, into fifth. As you come up to the crest, the whole car lifts off the ground at 240 kilometers an hour before you smash onto the brakes and pull it up in third gear for Griffins. And then the start of the climb starts now. Climbing all the way to the top of the mountain. Pluck fourth before you come into the cutting here. He might bounce it off third. And he holds fourth just. Plucks it down into second for the cutting. Now the big steep climb. Over the bump. Pluck away the gears again. And now the dance across the top of the mountain. You've got to get this picture perfect. A mistake here can cost you tenths, if not seconds of a lap. Through the great Robbie Bradbury comes. Now approaching McPhillamy. Can he get this spot on for the run to Brocky Skyline? Up on the curve, Bradbury goes. Finds it up into Skyline now. Dances it over the bumps. Dances it on the brakes. Has a slight little lock up. And that pushes him wide coming into that dipper. So that's going to hurt his lap there. Manages to recover. Coming out into Forest Elbow now to line himself up and compose himself into down Conrod Straight. Has another little pinch of the brakes into the elbow. So Robbie Bradbury not doing so well with the pressure at the moment. Conrod Straight, time to compose yourself. Catch a few breaths. Really get ready to throw the car around the right-hander at 280 kilometers an hour before you stomp on the brake pedal as hard as you can. You push it as far to the firewall as you can. Flick it into the left. Jumps the curb just a little bit to try and make up some time. Now the run into Murray's Corner for the final time. And what's the lap of Robbie Bradbury going to do? And it looks like he might be on for a 208, roughly 209. Comes across the line and a 207.6. And that is an absolutely cracking banker lap. Robbie Bradbury, mate. First car out on track. The nerves are going to be high.
Yeah, a little bit. Wasn't too bad. Just overshot it a bit going up into Griffins there and sort of killed the lap a bit, but she's pretty slippery out here.
Yeah, coming over Brocky Skyline had an almightily huge lockup from what we saw on the cameras. Luckily enough to pull it up for the dipper.
Yeah, I was playing a bit of catch up, so just trying to, send it a bit.
Mate, nevertheless, a 207.6 second lap. You got to be happy with that as a banker lap leading in tomorrow night's 41 lap race.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Just happy to get a lap, keep it off the walls. That's the main thing.
Well, mate, Godspeed for tomorrow night, and hopefully chat soon.
Cheers, fellas.
Next car out on track, Dean, Jonathan Bain from the Middle Finger Racing crew, and not much time to really get a chat in with the drivers either, or yourself, and we apologise for that one, ladies and gentlemen. It's all action-packed with the top 10 shootout, but it's Jonathan Bain's turn right now, and he comes across the start-finish line to start his lap. Jonathan Bain into Hull Corner. Lines it up perfectly. Gets on the power nice and early and lines it up Mountain Straight. And plucks away the gears again. And Dean, we've got a quick moment here. Robbie Bradbury's lap, not too bad as a banker one.
Yeah, he's just taking the safe approach there. Smart play. We've seen that from, I think it was Simon Chadwick last season, and it paid dividends for him as Jono gets it tipped in. Here in Griffins does pretty well. He got it lined up. That's where Robbie went wide last lap. So he started well in control of this lap. He's green through the first sector as well, Matty.
Is up on Robbie Bradbury's time at the moment.
Yep, and he's just getting the traction up the hill here. So crucial. You don't want to light the rears up. Coming up to the great section of the portion of the track now, and it's about being brave here and using all the track. He gets right out onto the wide.
Right out wide onto the great there from Jonathan Bain. Up against the wall as he comes into McPhillamy. Does he run it wide though? He might have just missed the apex into McPhillamy. Cost him a little bit of time into the Brocky skyline. Bounces it across the top. Gets it shot down into that dipper perfectly. That car looked settled. And hardly lifted the front left wheel. Into Forest Elbow. Bain comes. Bucks it down into first gear. Pulls the car up. And now sets himself up down Conrod straight for the run into the chase. Not a bad dance across the top of the mountain, Dean.
Yeah, that was really well controlled from Jono. He's looked impressive so far this lap. He's done some hot lap practice, I'm sure of it. He's just got the last section of the lap to go now as he comes down here into the Caltex.
Caltex chase. Thumps on the brakes nice and late. Takes a little bit of curb with him while he's at it for good measure. And it doesn't unsettle the car. Bain might be on for a blistering fast lap here. He's green on all sectors. He's green on all sectors on our end. What does he come across the line with? A 206.42. A 206.42 by Jonathan Bain. What an absolutely cracking lap. And we'll get him into the booth right now. Jonathan Bain, it's Matt Davis, mate. Absolutely fantastic lap out there.
Oh, that's more stress than I wanted at the end of the day.
Mate, obviously you had Robbie Bradbury set a banker at 207. It was one to chase after. You blitzed it by 1.2 seconds. How's the track feeling out there in the car? It looks pretty settled.
Yeah, I went nice and deep on my brakes like I wanted, but I've been having trouble tonight with some understeer, so I wasn't too keen on pushing it too far. But no, I'm happy with that time.
Mate, well, Godspeed for tomorrow night, and all the best.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Jonathan Bain, everybody, currently our pole sitter. And next car on track with already some front-end damage is Bruce Tanik. Bruce Tanik has found himself in the wall somewhere across the top of the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to hurt his lap before he's even started his flying lap. And he hasn't just hit the wall softly, he's taken out the whole entire side of his ZB Commodore. And that's really not what he wants, Dean.
No, not the ideal way to start the lap, but, you know, we've seen Sean McNamara get the damage last night and still be all right.
Big slide by Tanik.
Yeah, big lights them up coming out of turn one. You know, suffering probably some overheated tyres there, but, you know, he's got it all to do.
That's not going to help his run up Mountain Straight. He's already aero damaged as it is on the front end. And he's gone green at the moment. But he's definitely going to be feeling the effects of the aerodynamics as he comes across the top of the mountain.
Takes a shallow line there. This is what we're talking about with the pressure here, Matty. Affects people differently, but... You know, Bruce is a quick driver. He'll be
big slide coming through for Jitsu.
He just wrung its neck out over there, trying to make up some time. He's going to throw everything at it.
He's got nothing to lose. He's already damaged, so he may as well keep going and send it very close to getting it off track there. About the only place you can get it off track. But if you do touch the wall around here, ladies and gentlemen, that is your lap over on your hot lap. So he's got to try and keep it clean through here where it gets extremely tight. He throws it up into Forest Elbow. Bucks it back into first and runs the car too wide. That's going to compromise his run onto Conrod Straight. This lap could be all undone for Bruce Tanik. We'll have to wait and see what happens when he comes up to the start-finish line. He's only got one red sector to his name, so he's on the limit. Down into the chase, Tanik comes. Red sector again, so he's lost a bit of time out of the elbow. He's going to have to dive deep in here and push real hard. 206.41 is the time to beat. set by Jonathan Bain. Into Murray's corner. Pulls it up nice, turns it in nice and early, gets on the power early, and comes across the line with a 2:08.8. A 2:08.8 by Bruce Tanik. Pete, take it away.
Brucey, mate, bit loose there on that one, but what happened on the outlap there, mate?
To use a French term, a fucking schmozzle that was, Jesus. I just wasn't paying attention and just cruised up to the cutting, turned the wheel and it went straight ahead.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, no, we've been doing laps this week and mucking around in different temps, but haven't mucked around at that temp, and I just honestly that's just a horrible misjudgment, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, mate, but you know, you've posted a time, so...
Yeah, but from then on it was just, now I just got to bank on someone else hitting the wall.
Yeah, that's right, and it can happen in these temps, mate, so you got a time registered. So that's, that's crucial at least when that didn't start the way you wanted it to, but,
yeah.
Mate,
no one to blame but myself, so the race is a long race, so if it's 8th, 10th, 7th, wherever, I think it's all going to be pretty good.
Yeah, mate,
All
the best.
We'll have to cut you off there, and Godspeed for tomorrow night, Bruce. We've got the next driver starting their lap very, very briefly, and they're about to be on your screen right now. And that's Brian Good out on track, ladies and gentlemen, from the Frog Leap Racing crew in his Ford Mustang. It's a Ford Mustang dominant field in the RSRA Super 2 Series. In the spirit of Tasmania, Chris Kisby will be extremely happy with that. And he might even be joining the Super 2 Series next season if he can get the pre-qualifying times in. But it's all eyes now on Brian Good as he takes to the mountain for the 2.6 odd seconds that it takes to get around this famous track. And Brian Good's lap starts now. He's underway. Into Hull Corner he comes for the first time. Gets the run up mountain. The car lined up for the run out of Hull up Mountain Straight. Nice and perfect. Takes enough curb. Doesn't light the rear tyres up enough. And by looks of it, Dean, that's squatted out nicely.
Yeah, identifying turn one is crucial. Getting that lined up. Get the run up the hill and into Griffin's here. Get the car tipped in. Yep, he's turned that into the apex nicely and got the drive out. That's a really good start to the lap. Possibly on par with Jono here. He's gone green in sector one, so it's looking good for Brian so far. And he gets that car up the hill nicely there. That's so crucial, that turn on a hot track.
It is. Very, very crucial. He got that nicely through Fujitsu corner. Obviously, your lap starts at turn one, ladies and gentlemen, but it can make or break your lap at Mount Panorama at turn one. It can ruin your entire run. Brian Good, though, is on a purple sector. He's on purple through McPhillum. Here he comes. He's on the limit. Keeps it on the road. Dances it over the top through Skyline. Gets it turned in nice for the tipper. How much does he lift the wheel? Not much. The car looks planted. Brian Good looks fast. Coming into the elbow he comes. Gets it turned in nice and early. Hugs the wall tight. Gets an excellent exit on the way out of the elbow. And lines himself up for the run down to the chase now. 280 kilometres an hour he will reach before he flicks it to the right and stomps on the brake pedal.
That's a great exit out of Forest Elbow. The car looks like it's on line perfectly. He slings it in here now. It's going to be deep under brakes. Bit of bravery here. Clip the apex.
Takes a little bit of curb.
Yep, not as much as we've seen other drivers, which is crucial. Keep the car settled here down into the last turn. This one's a real tricky one. It's just got to be patient. Don't bite off more than shoot. Tip it in, drive it across the line.
He had 2 takes there. He had 2 takes in Murray's corner there, but he's on an absolute flyer. But it's not good enough. Jonathan Bain's time still stands. Brian Good with a 2:06.75. So Jonathan Bain's 2:06.42. We'll get him into the booth for you, ladies and gentlemen, as JD heads out on track and warms up those tyres to take the flying lap. Brian Good, mate, what an outstanding lap there at 2:06.75. Nice little bacon for tomorrow night's 41 lapper.
Thank you, sir.
Mate, what's it like out there in the car? How's she feeling?
The track's a lot warmer, so it's a bit slippery. I drove accordingly, a little bit cautious, but wanted to get a clean lap in.
Mate, looking into tomorrow night's race, excited, nervous?
Absolutely excited. Great track. It's a bit of a big deal. Old heart's pumping for this lap. It's a pretty cool.
You've got 2 minutes and 6 seconds to yourself on Mount Panorama. What better way to do it, especially on Brock's anniversary of 15 years. Godspeed for tomorrow night, though, Brian, and we'll hope to see you back in the post-race show.
Good on you, Matt. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. On to Jamie Davis now, though, ladies and gentlemen. The championship leader. He finds himself in 6th position at the moment. What can he do with this lap? Dean, we know he's one to not be as fast on qualifying. Has he got those wobbles out?
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he should do. He's just controlling the start of his lap. He looks in control, Matty. I wouldn't put it past him. I'll back him in tonight. You know, he's going to start this lap with the car in the temperature window that he wants. So he's just got to take it easy, making the most of the last section of the lap, set his run up out of the last corner here to start the lap.
Rumo as he comes, he takes the wide line. He gets the run onto the front straight to start his lap and the run up to Hell Corner. This is where it starts for Jamie Davis. It's going to make or break his lap at Hell Corner here. Just misses the apex a little bit and takes it too much curb. Has a little bit of a wiggle. That might compromise his run. Now, straight, ladies and gentlemen. Plucking up through the gears. He approaches the Petter's crest. The whole car lifts off. He gets it planted. Gets it set up to the left-hand side of the road into Griffin's Bend. He goes. Pulls it up nicely. He's in second gear. A little bit of a different gear ratio to what some would run. He's got a green sector, though. So he is up. At the moment, he's up. But what can he do for the rest of the lap? Into the cutting he comes.
Nice line.
Very nice line. Doesn't get too much wheel spin over the little bump. Now through Fujitsu he comes. What's he going to do when it comes to the grate? How committed is JD to this lap? Sends it right out wide to the grate. Right out wide to the wall into McPhillamy. Almost grazing it. And gets it turning nice to McPhillamy. Takes the right amount of curb. Doesn't take too much on the outside. He is flying across the top of the mountain. Through Brocky's skyline he goes. Was that a little bit too much track? He's on a purple sector at the moment through the dipper. JD is flying, ladies and gentlemen. JD has got this wrapped up by the looks of it. It's only at the elbow. There's still the chase to go. Out of the elbow he comes. Has a little bit of a swerve. Gets the car planted to go down Conrod Straight. And this is where it can all come down. We've seen it happen many a times, Dean. He's purple. He is purple.
Yep,
JD is flying.
Super commitment down the mountain. That's the difference in the lap time. He is all coming that downhill section. He late on the brakes, as we know Jamie does into the Caltex chase as well. Gets it lined up perfectly. He got the drive down, one corner to go. He's just got to, again, same thing. Just be conservative here. He's carrying a lot of speed. It could be on competition.
What does Jay do with the time? What's the time gonna do? He's blitzed it, ladies and gentlemen, at 2:05.8 seconds to Jamie Davis. The man was on a mission and he got it. He's the first driver to the 2:05s. Jamie Davis, and before I hand it over to Dean Reddit, what an outstanding lap.
Thank you very much, Matty.
Mate, how was the nerves on that one? You know, your commitment coming down the mountain there, just from a brief look, was where the difference was in the lap time. Were you right? Were you fully committed there and going hard, basically trying to take all the road coming down the mountain?
Yeah, pretty much. I sort of screwed up, ran wide a couple of little corners that coming up the hill, so I thought I'd just throw caution to the wind and throw it hard down the hill.
Mate, cheers for that, and you know, best of luck tomorrow night. We'll let you go and we'll jump on to the next car.
Thank you very much, boys.
Godspeed, mate. All the best. JD, everybody, our current pole sitter with a 2:05.8 second flying lap. And what a lap it was. He was on the limit the whole way around. And his qualifying wobbles have not got the better of him in that lap, and he's managed to stick it together. But Mark Turner, probably one of the oldest drivers in the field, next to Andrew Johnson, I believe, so goes out to start his lap from the Middle Finger Racing boys. 2 MFR cars in the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Turner now, he's been one all season to play the strategy. We know he's got the pace, but what can he do when he's got the whole entire track to himself? Mount Panorama. Dean, take us away.
Yep, Mark gets lined up out of the last corner really well there. You know, we know this guy can qualify the car well. He's done it numerous times so far this year. He gets a little
as
bit
a
loose in the
slide into
ring.
hell.
Yeah, that's a little bit squirmy to start the lap, but he's recovered well. He's not gone wide, and he's still pointed in the right direction as the run up the hill here, crucial into turn 2.
Over the crest he comes, lines himself up for Griffin. Gets it pulled up nicely. Lucks down the gears and gets the apex spot on. Lucks the apex on the outside and starts his run up the mountain. Into the cutting he comes. This is the crucial part. This is where the car can light up. This little hump right now. The car decides to bounce. If you pluck the gear at the wrong time, it'll send you around. Through Fujitsu he comes. Leaves himself some room against the wall. What's he do against the grate? A little bit to the left of it. And puts himself on the wall for McPhillamy. Now Skyline.
Good commitment here on top of the mountain. He just gets that car turned in nicely, roughly where Jamie ran wide on the previous lap. Like, this is the commitment he needs coming down the mountain to make up for that early loss in time, Matty.
He needs to really start pushing now. He's got green sectors, but he's got 2 purples we hear. The purples aren't showing on our screen, but we've got in our ear, Mark Turner is on 2 purple sectors. He's on track to take Jamie Davis off the top step. And it's all going to come down to now coming into the chase. What flicks it over to the right or left, then over to the right to get through the chase, down into the Caltex chase now. Plucks it down in a second. Doesn't take too much curb. He's still purple. Mark Turner is still purple. And he'd be wrapped with this at the moment. He knows he's on a hot lap. He knows he's on a fast one. Through Murray's he comes. Across the start finish line, Mark Turner comes home with a 2:06.29. He lost time. He lost time in the final couple of corners. That is crazy. Mark Turner, mate. What a lap, but unfortunately not enough to take JD off the top step.
Maybe next year.
Mate, the car looks pretty planned. We'll keep this short and sweet, mate, obviously, because we're on a time limit between the next drivers. But the car looks planted across the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I was taking it easy because I was watching the other guys. It looked a bit slippery, so yeah, there's a lot left in there, but it's all good.
Mate, you across the top of the mountain, you still pulled off two purple sectors. So, nevertheless, mate, the car is obviously looking good for tomorrow night's race. Godspeed, and hopefully see you up on the podium, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Mark Turner, everybody, from the Middle Finger Racing, and now the man of the moment. He's been winning races left, right, and centre, Dean. He's been the force to reckon with. He's chased down JD and closed up that margin. He's overtaken his teammate Robbie Bradbury in the championship to be able to close it up to only 70 odd points. So Simon Vale is on a mission. He needs to be ahead of Jamie Davis to keep him at bay. It's double points tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. And that could be the meaning of the championship win or the championship loss.
He's going to take grievance with Jamie being a #1 spot too. So, Simon's going to give it absolutely everything here. There'll be no banker lap from him.
No banker lap at all. JD obviously put in his flyer. It's now Simon Vale's turn from the Century Motorsports team to put in a flyer. The 393 comes through Murray's corner to start his lap now. What can he do? He's got the mountain to himself. The nerves will be high. He knows what he's got to do. His teammates will be in the background cheering him on. His crew chief will be in his ear cheering him on. The run up mountain straight starts now. He came through Hell Corner, had the car settled and got it hooked up beautifully. He's got a lovely run up the mountain so far. What's he like under brakes into Griffin? Can he pull it up and click that apex to start his climb up the mountain? Absolutely picture perfect. Keeps it off both curbs. And the car is hooked up. He's green at the moment. Into the cutting he comes.
Great start on the climb up the mountain here, Matty. That's
very good start.
In on all the apexes so far.
How ballsy does he go through Fujitsu?
You watch him come down.
Close.
He's going to hang it right out here.
Oh,
you watch
just
him come down this
the grade.
Runs it right up against the wall there. That was a really tight line.
He's got to be careful. If he clicks the wall with a 0x, that is lap over. And by the looks of it, he hasn't yet. He's flying across the top of the mountain into the dipper. He comes now. Lifts up the whole left side of the car. And he's on the mission. Simon Vale is a man on a mission right now. Little bit of a lock-up in a Forest Elbow. That's going to hurt him a bit. Would have been pushed him a bit wide, but he's still purple sector. Can he make up the ground and finish ahead of JD as he comes out of the chase? We saw Mark Turner lose time. Can Simon Vale hold his ground?
Yeah, well, we know Jamie was excellent under brakes, so it's going to take real commitment here from Simon. Go deep into this section in this second last turn. Here we go, another purple sector here for Simon. I think it's going to be on here, Matty. There's not going to be a whole lot of time between these two laps.
One more corner. That's going to make or break him. That's Murray's. We've seen a lot of drivers come undone here. One of the trickiest corners on the track to get right and hold the power through. He comes across the start-finish line. 2:05.81 is the time to beat at 2:06.29. He is tied with Mark Turner at 2:02.8 on our screen, on the screens for you, ladies and gentlemen. But at 2:02.9, there will be thousands in that time. Feed, it's all yours.
Hey, Simon, mate, fantastic lap. It looked like you were going to be on the challenge there. Was it potentially just a bit of lost time in the last sector? We thought you might have been on par there coming down the end of the Conrod. How did that lap go for you?
Oh, just a conservative lap, it was.
Yeah,
just
right.
make sure I didn't hit the fence, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Not pick up any 0Xs. We thought you might have just let it all hang loose, seeing that Jamie had put his car in the #1 spot.
No. Just conservative, happy with how the car feels as a race car.
Awesome, mate. Well, good luck tomorrow night, and yep, you're up the pointy end, so a great place to start.
No worries, thank you.
Godspeed, Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Simon Vale from the Century Motorsport team coming across the line in second position and 4/10 abreast of Jamie Javis, who is currently our pole sitter. But the 9-5 boys, it's their time to shine. Benny Siren out on track now. He comes through the Caltex chase. He's on fire at the moment. He's obviously happy with the temps where his tyres are at. And he's about to start his lap. The approach to Murray's now. What can Benny Siren do from the 9-5 boys? His team boss McNamara took out the race win in race 2 last night. He's obviously passed on some wise words to Benny Siren. He's got the mountain to himself. Let's see what he can do. Benny Siren, the 959 from the 9-5 Simsport crew, comes out of Hell Corner. A little bit squirmy, and that might affect his run. Mountain straight here, Dean.
Yep, struggled to get it tipped in a little bit there, but, you know, there's obviously some pace in this car, Matty, so he's gonna be on the catch-up now, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can get it all the way back up there, so he gets it settled a bit better here for Griffins. Oh, no, he's going to run wide.
What? Almost lost it. Benny Siren with a big slide through Griffins, and that's going to hurt him dearly. Oh, big slide into the cutting.
Yeah, those rear tyres are screaming with this hot track. It's going to take a few corners to get them calmed down. But so unfortunate for Benny. He looked like he had a good pace.
Benny Siren looked like he had very good pace coming out of turn 1, but just lost it coming out of Griffin's Bend. A little big slide coming into the cutting, and unfortunately that's going to be lap done for him. Can he make up a little bit of time and pop himself somewhere in the middle pack for tomorrow night's race? That's the only time he's going to be able to get. And a big lockup coming into Forest Elbow. Benny Siren is pushing this car to its limits to try and make up time. He's on a green sector here, so he's made up a little bit of time. Not much. He's done a personal best for himself. Down Conrod straight he comes. Starts to line it up for the chase. Through the chase, Benny Siren comes. Now time to flick it around to the left. Takes a lot of curb. That was a lot of curb. And it's a red sector. So I think he might have aborted the mission halfway down Conrod and is just going to come across and bank this lap, put himself on the grid, and focus on tomorrow night's race. And unfortunate there for Benny Siren, who comes across the line with a 2:08.95. That's bottom of the grid. Ben Siren joins us now. Mate, big moment coming into Griffins and then the cutting.
I fluffed it. Absolutely fluffed it. The track temp's pretty hot. That sort of caught me off guard a little bit. We'll look forward to the race tomorrow.
Mate, was it just a matter of damage prevention from there on out, or did you try have another crack and make up some time to try and finish mid-pack?
I always try and finish it off with a high, but once you start off like that, it's a little bit hard to come back from. Never mind.
Mate,
it was good.
All eyes are obviously pointing to tomorrow night and the 41 lap endurance race. But Godspeed, mate, for tomorrow night. Hopefully you can make up a bit of time off the race start, and pit strategy is going to be a big one. Godspeed.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We've got a good setup going on, so I think we should be there or thereabouts at the end of the race.
Oh, we'll see you then, mate. All the best.
Thank you, mate.
Definitely a car to watch tomorrow night, I think, Matty.
Yeah, definitely a car to watch tomorrow night as we go on screen now with David Nash. Big moment though for Benny Siren as he comes through the Griffin's Bend there and up to the cutting.
Yeah, that might be a case of running a strong rear bias in the car, and just with the track temps being up over what the race temp would be, the car just didn't really like the heavy braking scenario. So when you run that rear bias, you can't apply a lot of brake pressure. Otherwise, you do get the rears pinching. So maybe that's an explanation as to what happened. And then they get really hot, and like I said, it takes 3, 4, 5 corners for the tyres to cool down. But we're on board now with Nashy as he does the last bit of car preparation and before he comes into the last corner here to start his lap.
Nashy definitely took his time with his outlap and definitely wanted to get those tyres right up to temperature. This is going to prove if it worked or not. Nashy through Murray's corner. He starts his lap now. The run to Hull corner. It's going to make or break him through here. And it's going to start his almighty long lap of 6.2 kilometres and gets it squared up on the power. Nice and beautiful. That's the best exit of Hull corner we've seen all shootout long so far, ladies and gentlemen. Nashy now with the run up mountain straight to Griffin's Bend. Floats it over to the left-hand side of the road. Gets it turned in for Griffins. Hugs it nice and tight. He's there on the speed. He's there on the gears. He knows what he's got to do. Now the approach to the cutting. Gets it turned in. Excellent. The right speed again. He's a master around the mountain. That's why he's the second last car out. Through Fujitsu corner he comes. Now the dance across the top. How close does he get to the grate? He's right on it, ladies and gentlemen. Nash is on the limit. He doesn't get as close to the wall to enter McPhillamy, but he's looking fast and he's looking racy. Now Brocky Skyline. How much does he dance it across? Takes a bit of curb with him. That's going to unsettle the car. He gets it pulled up for the dipper though. Now the approach to Forest Elbow.
This is the section now. He's done so well in the first 3 quarters of the lap. Gets it turned into Forest Elbow nicely. We know Jamie Davis was super fast in this sector. He's going to have to take some big bravery here down on the brakes, but it's been a fantastic start to the lap.
He's green so far. We've just heard purple sector in our ear as well. So Nashy is on fire. But we saw Jamie Davis. He had a quick car down Conrod. He's hard on the brakes into the Caltex chase.
Yep, turned in
and
nicely.
he was hard into the brakes on Murray. What can Nashy do? It's all come down to the final corner. He's green the whole way around. He's got a couple purple sectors already to his name. He approaches Murray's. He comes across the start-finish line. Can he knock JD off the top of the timing table? No, he can't. It's a 2:06.25. And that just goes to show JD is our fastest man so far as he comes through the final corner. And Dean, take it away.
Yeah, mate, I'll take it away. Nashy, mate, fantastic lap. Just pipped there again by Jamie Davis, who looks like he's been super strong in that last sector. Mate, was there much left in it for you out on that lap time, or do you think that was nailed pretty well?
No, there was more in it. It's just trying to keep it off the walls and trying to obviously get up the pointy end for tomorrow night.
Well, you've certainly done that, mate. So far, it's a front row start, but, what'll be the strategy off the start line tomorrow night?
just get into it, basically, gents. As you know, just stick with Jamie or make the overtake. Otherwise, just sit behind him.
Yeah, it's a long race tomorrow night and plenty of strategy at play as well, I'd imagine.
Nearly is.
Yeah, all right. Well, best of luck for tomorrow night, mate. We'll be watching on. Very excited, and hopefully we'll see you on the front row start.
Thanks, gents.
Godspeed, David. And ladies and gentlemen, David Nash from the Riot Sim Racing corner over there. Troy Allen, the last car out on track, our final man for the night, and is going to try and get as much heat into those tyres as possible. But Dean, looked like too much heat might have cost them a little bit.
Potentially could be the case there with the, it's been interesting to note that the drivers following Jamie Davis have nearly all gone purple and then just lost it in the final sector. So whether that's the tyres not hanging on for the entirety of the lap, that could potentially be a reason why.
And I also think just Jamie Davis in that final sector, he looked quick on screen, but it's just going to show he is the quickest in this final sector through the chase and into Murray's Corner. We always say Murray's Corner is make or break for the actual end of the lap, and it's proving to break a lot of drivers. They can't get the car turned in. Whether that's, as you said, the tyres taken away, we won't know. But most of them are just trying to get the banker in for this lap. Troy Allen, there's only one thing that Troy Allen can do right now, and that's just go full send. Into Murray's Corner, Troy Allen lines himself up. David Nash pulls himself into the pits into the background. Troy Allen now lines himself up on the main straight. Comes across the start-finish line to start his lap, and we're underway for the final car for the top 10 shootout. Through Hull Corner, Troy Allen comes. Big slide out of Hull Corner. That's going to hurt him going up Mountain Straight.
Yeah, that'll be the bit the temperature shot up in the rears. He took a real slow out lap, so, he should be able to hold the tyres here for the entirety of the lap, but we've got to get it tipped in here nicely to Griffins. Hugs that curb. That's a good line through there. You
That
can
is
start trying to make
superb.
some time up now coming up the hill. Such an important part of the track here. Into the cutting. Get it nicely in tight to the wall there. Perfect traction up the hill. Great drive out, Matty.
Oh, now the climb through Fujitsu, ladies and gentlemen, and over to the grey. How close does he get to the wall? It looks like he's only cruising around at the moment. He's all green at the moment. Takes a nice line through the grate. Doesn't get as close to the wall as some of the other drivers we've seen tonight. Now through McPhillamy he comes, and he's at the top. Now the long descent down through Brocky Skyline. The dance on the brakes. The dance on the steering wheel. You got to be pinpoint accuracy. Sends it in through the dipper. Nice and stable through there. Now the approach to Forest. The trickiest braking point of them all. You've got a right-hand turn and you're on the brakes. Now through the elbow he comes and lines himself up for Conrod Straight and gets nice and close to the wall on the exit. Troy Allen's looking racy so far, ladies and gentlemen. Final car out on track, composing himself for the fastest corner in Australian motorsport history. 280 kilometres an hour as he flicks it right. Jumps on the brakes nice and hard. Down into second gear for the left-hander. Doesn't take a lot of curb. If not, he hardly took any of it. Now the approach to Murray's Corner, the final corner. Is it going to come undone for Troy Allen, or is he going to pip JD on the top spot? We're about to find out. To the line, Troy Allen comes with a time of a 206.26. And it's not enough to pit Jamie Davis, and Jamie Davis is our pole sitter for tomorrow night's race. We'll get Troy Allen into the booth now for us, ladies and gentlemen. Troy Allen, mate, what a lap that was. Good enough for third position, a 206.26, and a lot of drivers, 4 drivers so far in the 206.2, so excellent lap by you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks a lot.
Mate, obviously extremely slippery over the top being last car out. What is it like going last car out on the track after you've just watched 9 other drivers in front of you go for one hell of a ride?
Heart's racing the entire time. It's definitely not a position I like being in, that's for sure.
Mate, nevertheless, you've managed to send it around there. Pop yourself on the front of the second row for for tomorrow night's 41 lapper. Nerves starting to kick in slightly, or it's a long race that our strategy is going to play a good part in it?
No nerves at all, mate.
it's a long race. I've done a fair amount of prep over the weekend, and I actually made sure I had a car for the shootout and a car for normal qualifying and a race car. So 3 cars sorted over the weekend. I'm pretty comfortable in it, and she should go the distance.
Mate, Godspeed for tomorrow night. All the best. And we'll hope to see you at the pointy end in the commentary booth after the 41 laps have been completed.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, mate. Dean Reddit, what a top 10 shootout. What a mix-up. Betty Siren losing it, coming into Griffins and into the cutting. Tanik losing it across the top on his outlap and injuring himself. Then you've got Simon Vale, who's been fastest man all season long with the races and taking out countless victories. He's down in 4th position. And the man who's been crying that his qualifying hasn't been the greatest, JD, put himself up on the top step, 4/10 clear of the entire field.
He did it, and did it comfortably by 4/10. That just goes to show how good a lap that was from Jamie Davis, that 4 of his nearest rivals, who were all within just a couple of hundredths of a second of each other, couldn't get within 4/10 of him. So, mate, what a fantastic pole lap.
Jamie Davis joins us in the booth now. Mate, congratulations on the top step, a 205.8. We thought it would be a very tight battle up the front there, and a couple of drivers may have pipped you with a few purple sectors there, but your entry into the chase and Murray's has just been too strong.
Thank you very much, boys. Yeah, absolutely wrapped to grab the pole position for the final round, and especially at Bathurst, it's feels absolutely awesome. But first half of the lap was conservative, and then down the hill, I just thought, oh well, the worst I can start is 10th, so I'll just absolutely send it.
Mate, obviously, championship tomorrow night and obviously tonight was one to think about. You've got to obviously finish in front of Simon Vale, considering it is double points tomorrow night. What's the game plan moving forward?
Just not get caught up with trying to lead the race or try and be the quickest car lap after lap. My spotter, he's already worked out a target position that I need to finish. So as long as we stay in front of that position and stay clean, we should be all right.
Well, you've got an extra 5 bonus points going your way, obviously, for taking out pole position. So that's going to be a nice little buffer for you in the championship points there. A clean race will give you 10. That could be the decider in the end as we finish 41 laps tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly right. And, Bathurst, absolutely anything can happen. So it's not like driving conservative and just trying to drive to a number will be enough, because absolutely anything can happen.
Mate, stick around. We'll get some sponsor thanks from Troy Allen and David Nash quickly, and we'll come back to you before we finish it up here, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see the unofficial grid placings quickly as well before we do head over to Troy Allen and Nashy for a quick thank you on their behalf. We've got 10 minutes of qualifying, or server time, should I say, left. 10 minutes of server time left. So that's going to our server will close down very shortly. But what a top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing I was expecting. Everything got shaken up in the final 5-6 drivers there. We thought it was going to be pretty well set. We had a rough idea of where it was going to be, but this has completely blown us out of the water, and everybody's been mixed up and around. The only person that's sitting where they started their hot lap is David Nash, and that's in second position, and that's a 206.25 to him. Troy Allen a 206.26, then a Vale 206.28, and then Turner a 206.29. So you've got 4 drivers there within 3/300ths of a second of each of one another, Dean. That just goes to show how close this top 10 shootout was.
Yeah, there was not much separating the drivers, and we were able to pinpoint exactly where the time differences was between those 4 drivers and Jamie Davis. It all just come down to the last 3 turns and how brave Jamie was under brakes. So that just goes to show there's just nothing between these top 5 drivers. And throw John O'Bain in there as well, top 6 drivers. It's going to be a really, really hard fought race tomorrow night, and what a great qualifying session. And that went by so quick, Matty.
I told you, mate. It's ladies and gentlemen, for those that have been following on, it's Dean Reddit's first night and first time in the booth for a top 10 shootout. I told him it was going to be quick. He didn't expect it would be this quick. Obviously, this is now my second top 10 shootout, and I'm pretty formal with them now and know how quick they can unfold, and know that there's not a lot of time to get a quick chat in with the driver after their hot lap and then make it back to the other driver. I think I just heard JP say that we have unofficial results ready. Should be on the screen. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, there's a bit of a technical issue on my end, so I'll have to read them off my screen right now. Jamie Davis is our current pole sitter for tomorrow night's race. So David Nash, not too far away from him, 0.4 of a second. He's going to be applying the pressure nice and strong from the get-go. Troy Owen as well. He's going to start third off the second row there. Simon Vale with him. So Simon Vale, he's on the hunt at the moment for that championship win. He's got eyes set on Jamie Davis. Mark Turner in 5th, Jonathan Bain in 6th position, Brian Good in 7th, Robbie Bradbury in 8th, Bruce Tanik in 9th, Benny Siren rounding out your top 10 shootout there, ladies and gentlemen. And what a shootout it was. I can't get over that. I think that's one of the best ones that I actually ever seen in the RSRA, and obviously going back into the nationwide technology systems and Goodyear Autocare Bathurst as well. David, mate, stellar performance from you tonight. We'll quickly give you the floor for some sponsor thanks as we wrap this up nice and early, so we can all get out of here nice and early and enjoy an early night for once.
Thanks, gents. Just Bliss Homes, Capital Custom Works, FU Suicide. Always give a shout out to Sim Shed Broadcasting and JP and all his work, and you guys in the commentary booth.
Thanks, Nashy. Troy Allen, mate, we'll give you the floor as well for a quick sponsor thank you. Stellar lap by you in the end. Obviously not enough to pip Nashy there for the front row, but nevertheless a good lap.
Yeah, I probably could have gone a little bit harder, but I just played conservative. But, obviously the MFR boys, doing it for them as well. Matt Designs, WP Concreting, Step On Tools, Blacktown, Aussie Science and Designs, FU Suicide, Autism Australia. And my son, I know you're watching out there somewhere in the lounge room. G'day, mate. Go to bed.
He's always commenting on the YouTube as well, we see.
Yeah, he's a pretty special unit, that one. So he should be in bed, and if he's not, well, I guess I'm in trouble.
As the saying goes, it's a right smack for the bottom. Thank you very much, Troy Owen. Championship points, we'll get them underway if we can get them up, just so we can get a bit of an insight to how close this is right now, ladies and gentlemen. And there they are up on your screen. And that, okay, this is what I've just been informed. Thank you very much, JP. Jamie Davis with 1,584 points, including the 5 points that he was given tonight for the top step on the qualifying. So that makes it an 83-point gap between him and Simon Vale. So what that means in mathematical terms, I don't have a brain like Zach Caban. If he was in here, he'd be able to tell you right now where Jamie Davis has to finish. But Robbie Bradbury in 3rd position, Tony Gaffer in 4th, Adam Moore in 5th, Cole Zink in 6th, Stephen Martin in 7th, Jonathan Bain in 8th, David Nash in 9th, Scotty Barton in 10th position, rounding out your top 10 there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll flick on through. Mark Turner, Justin Pennefather, Alex Schuler, Daniel Schultz, Benny Siren, Stead Miller, Timmy Mulford, Troy Allen, Bruce Tanik, Stephen Banks, rounding out your top 20 there. Now over to the top 30, Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Jason Schooler, Will Yesberg, Brian Good, Peter Kelly, Nathan Clive, Stephen Lawrence, Hayden Smith, and Anthony Visma. And we've got Craig, Gary, Blair Van Reed, Craig Casper, Scotty Short, Gary Crittenden, David Leslie, John Nikolaev, Darren Robb, and Robert Brewer, rounding out your field of supercar drivers. Dean, quick thoughts on you on the your first top 10 shootout, mate, before we I blitz into the sponsors and wrap this up for tonight.
Yeah, it was a great night. Great night to be involved in. Unfortunately, I've yet to experience one as a driver, but this is the next best thing, sitting here and getting to call these guys as they go around the track. So, mate, what a tight run, top 10 shootout it was. It was thrilling. So congratulations to all the drivers involved. And, let's get the main event underway now. Let's get this season wrapped up with a fantastic endurance race tomorrow night.
An endurance race, what better way to do it than Mountain Panorama? And obviously, there's still one more championship round to go as well. That is the DSL Welding's Triple Crown Championship, and it looks a little bit like this. Simon Vale leading the way, and this could all change tomorrow in tomorrow night's race, could it not, JP? Yes. So we are tomorrow night is the DSL Welding Services Triple Crown Championship. So Jamie Davis could potentially go back to back here if he can knock Simon Vale off the top step. But Simon Vale currently leading our Triple Crown Championship, brought to you by DSL Welding Service. Then it's Jamie Davis, Hayden Smith, Stephen Martin, Brian Good, David Nash, Cole Zink, Daniel Schultz, Mark Turner, Adam Moore, rounding out your top 10. And we'll let those roll on through for you, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Davis, I haven't forgotten about you, mate. The pole sitter always gets the last one on the dot for the drivers, as you know. We'll let you have some sponsor thanks, mate, as these championship points scroll on through for the Triple Crown.
Thanks, Matty. Yeah, I'd like to thank AutoServe, who allows us to partner with Wins, Wolfchester, High Tech Oils, and Grip Clean. Yeah, JP, Dean, Matty, everyone competing in this series. Yeah, massive thanks, and my spotter Tyson.
Thank you very much, JP. JD. This is why I knew calling you JD was going to be a bad idea, and I finally had my first tongue twister right there. But also, ladies and gentlemen, there's quite a few sponsors on our end to thank as well. We've got the Nationwide Technology Systems, Goodyear Autocare Warana, Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding Services, Dragon RC, Devon Stove Design, Blue Stampede Labour Hire, FU Suicide, who are also taking donations for the Black Dog Institute and Mullets for Mental Health. I'll do a quick plug on that before we leave. STG Gaming, Track Cams Full Gourmet, and Simshed Broadcasting. And also, looking forward to what's to come on obviously tomorrow night. We've got the main game, the 41 lap endurance race for these guys around Bathurst. And what better way to do it than on a Thursday night motorsport for a bit of a change? It'll be our second Thursday night motorsport for the season, and will also be on National Are You OK Day as well. So what better way to do it than tomorrow night? And that will be wrapping up our 12-week season, and a total of 14 races from memory as well. I think JP will correct me on that one. I think it is 14 because we did have a super sprint round somewhere in the midst of that. So 12-week season, 14 races, and what a season it has been. It's all going to be eyes on the front, though, where Jamie Davis and Simon Vale will be duking it out to see who's going to be taking home the silverware. Jamie Davis has got one hand on it at the moment, but can he get a firm grip of two hands? We'll have to wait and see. And for now, we just have to look forward to tomorrow night and pray and hope that the racing gods can hold out for us, ladies and gentlemen, and give us a nice, clean race. We know it's Bathurst, and we know safety cars breed safety cars. But for now, we're going to wrap things up for you Wednesday night motorsport. It's been a nice short one. We'll let everybody in the booth, all the drivers, and especially you guys at home, get away a little bit earlier than what we've been used to in the past 12 weeks. So for now, my name is Matt Davis, joining me by Dean Reddit, our podium sitters for tonight for the top 10 shootout, Jamie Davis, David Nash, Troy Allen, and our director, JP. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you all tomorrow night from 7:45 p.m. We might go a little bit early, so watch out for the notifications on Facebook and YouTube. We might go a little bit earlier just to try and get a few more formalities through at the start of the race there. But join us tomorrow night, nevertheless, for the final round of the RSRA Super 2 E-Series. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night.